Hey guys, Diana here from Garden Love. Today I want to talk to you about starting your vegetable garden. You might be thinking I don't have room or have the right space for it because you live in the city, or you live in an apartment building, or you live in a small home or a home with a small yard such as mine. As you can see, there's grass here, there's regular trees and regular bushes, all ornamental. My yard is actually very small. It's maybe 16 feet by 12. It's not big at all. But I want you to change your mind after seeing this video. I'm going to show you different ways and different locations where you can be growing vegetables. Let's get started. Let me go ahead and start with the side of my house. As you guys can see, it's very, very narrow. When I first moved in here, there was absolutely nothing that was edible. Everything was a bush and flower and ornamentals. I went ahead and just cleared everything out, which is a big project, but you don't have to do that. All you have to do is find a little patch of soil, a little patch of a sunny spot, amend it, till it, water it, and there you go. As you guys can see here, all I did is put some amendment soil. I tilled all the soil that was originally there. This soil should have enough nutrients to do at least one harvest, one season. So you can grow tomatoes. Tomatoes are great for in-ground. They pretty much grow anywhere in any type of soil. So tomatoes would be the #1 vegetable that I suggest you put in the ground. All you need to find is a little patch, amend the soil, and make sure that it gets some sun. On the other side, as you can see, it's very narrow. I put a grapevine against the wall and a goldberry. That could easily be a tomato growing there. Look at how much space is taken. All I did is amend the soil and put it in the ground. Let me go ahead and show you how small of a space this is using. Anybody and everybody has a wall with a little patch of soil, a little patch of dirt. You can add some amendment, and as long as it gets sun, you can grow a vegetable there. Now let's say all you have is concrete. Well, guess what? You found a sunny spot. You can put a container and start growing some peppers, some tomatoes, and some herbs. Do you have a wall where you can hang something? Well, there you go. Put some hanging baskets with some strawberries. Here's another little patch of dirt that I tilled, amend, and put a tomato. It doesn't take much. This is clay soil. All you gotta do is water it deeply, put some amendment, mix it all together, and tomatoes will thrive in this environment as long as you get sun. Now obviously, if you have the space and the time and you can get a hold of some raised beds with enough soil, you can always put an easy raised bed and start growing some tomatoes, peppers, zucchinis, all sorts of things in here. Here's a perfect example of how I'm growing rosemary and mint in one container. I went ahead and did a double layer with 2 containers, so I can pull this out and there'll still be a container holding all this soil around where the rosemary is growing and the mint is growing inside the center container. All right, let's go in here. I found a little empty spot of dirt in the back of this garden, so I went ahead and just took a piece of long wood, cut it to size, did 2 sides, and I created a raised bed. You can do this anywhere in your yard. Look at how close the walls are in between my house and the fence. You don't need a lot of space. Usually what I grow here is some kales, cilantro. As you can see, I'm growing some herbs. Guys, where there's a will, there's a way. Alright guys, do any of you guys have a little spot such as this to put a planter? All you gotta do is buy some pots or a planter and put them here. And now you have a place to grow some vegetables. Maybe you guys have an old bucket where you guys can grow vegetables. I have currently strawberries in here, but you can use it to grow carrots, herbs, maybe even a zucchini if it's deep and wide enough. And here's another container. I put some spinach here and some Swiss chard. So you guys can see I have two, one here and one here where I plan on growing spinach and Swiss chard on both of them. Now let's talk about what kind of vegetables you should be growing in a small space. Okay, your goal should be growing bush varieties if you have a small space, such as myself. I have 2 raised beds and I'm trying to maximize the space. And with that being said, I am going to be putting cucumbers that are bush variety, which means they're not going to get super long, they're going to be more bushy. That way it could take advantage of this space here. I'll show you guys in a second where I'm going to be planting them and how they're going to be growing. Okay, also when it comes to tomatoes, you want to get the bush variety if you're going to be growing it in a container. The container has to be big enough for the roots to expand and grow. So I would say maybe like a 15-gallon container for a tomato. If you're gonna put it in the ground, you can do, you can put them more condensed and be able to grow them better because the ground has more resource and more ability for the roots to grow. Okay, so I would suggest bush variety if you have limited space. One more thing, if you're gonna get tomatoes, get indeterminate tomatoes are the ones that are gonna grow long and tall and big. Determined tomatoes are the ones that are going to grow a little bit smaller. So I would suggest to go with determined tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and put this yellow squash right here. I grew one here last year and it did perfectly fine. So I am going to put it in there. Make sure that you turn it over so that way you don't damage the roots and the stem. I'm going to go ahead and put it facing this way. Now right here, I'm going to be growing some cucumbers. And just keep in mind this has already been amended. And I'm going to do the bush variety. And eventually this will grow against this trellis. And I'm going to put 2. This one, I actually got it from the store, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. I've never grown this before, but it's worth a try. This is all just my regular clay soil with some amendments. Here's another little patch. I'm going to just make a hole right here. That's it. I put some green beans here. I put 3 and I might put more so that way they can climb up this trellis and give me some delicious green beans. I went ahead and add another cucumber going up this trellis. And I even stuck another indeterminate tomato, which means it won't get very tall. It would be very bushy, and it's a bush tomato, so it's going to be perfect right here. Alright guys, I plan on putting more plants in my garden than I actually need for several reasons. 1, in case some of them died. 2, just in case the spot that I put them in is not where they necessarily like it. 3, I would love to have enough food to share with neighbors and friends in case they need food. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put another yellow squash here. And it's going to be in a container. and let it grow here. So I highly suggest that you guys get out there, go to the garden, try to look for a sunny spot, maybe look for a container, maybe put a small little raised bed. Maybe you already have a little patch of soil that you can mat and start growing some food right away. Hey, maybe you have extra wood and you can build a simple box like this where you can grow some delicious vegetables. Friends, I am so excited to finally be doing this video for you guys. I hope that this inspires you to start growing some food and believe in yourself and believe that it's possible to grow anywhere. I want to hear from you and know what you're growing, how you're growing it, and where you live. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give me some thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. I really hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Now, if you watched the whole video all the way to the end, leave a comment and let me know. I just want you to know that you are awesome. See you in the next one.